What's going on, everyone? My name is Jeff. So over this past week, Aurora cannabis is up around 8%. And of course, the market is starting to recover. These tariffs on Mexico have been suspended. That made the market run up today. Of course, we did see a little bit of sell-off in the afternoon. And right now, the real thesis is that a weakening economy is going to help our odds of getting an interest rate cut sooner. And for some twisted reason, that is apparently a good thing, and it's making stocks run up right now. Now, guys, I want to be very clear about something. This is no longer an investor's market. This is a trader's market, okay? So what I'm really getting at, guys, I don't think we are back into a bull market just yet, but you do have to try to capture some of that volatility. And of course, I try to do so by playing options and buying and selling stocks. However, I do not think that the sell-off is completely over yet. We have a lot of big events coming up, and Aurora cannabis being one of my absolute favorite stocks. I actually strengthened my position late last week when it dipped under $7.50. They got a hold rating and they got a bearish call last week. I do want to talk about that in this video, but I don't want any of you confusing that. For me, giving Aurora a bearish call, like I said, I remain very, very bullish, and I'm willing to invest through some difficult times, because as I make trades, as I make successful trades, sometimes I can take that out and shift some money into ACB and some other stocks and continue building long-term positions with. So we are going to talk about Stifel's cautious call on ACB. You know what to do, guys. Make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. I appreciate all the support, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. So this article was actually put out a couple of days ago. However, I've just not had time to tackle it. I need a little bit of time to process it. And I kind of want to talk about this headline that Stifel is cautious on Aurora cannabis given lack of a definitive strategy in the US, okay? Like I said, I am not just trying to be an ACB fanboy. You know, I do try to remain objective with all stocks that I'm invested in. And so, Stifel analyst W. Andrew Carter initiated coverage on Aurora with a hold rating and a $10 price target in Canada, which comes out to $7.47 here in the United States. So again, guys, let me reiterate, I am very bullish on ACB, but I do try to remain objective, keep an open mind, because we want to hear all the bearish stuff as well. When you're invested in a company and you trade a company quite often, you don't want to just ignore all the negative news out of there. You do want to take it in and at least hear it and have some level of recognition of it, because that is how you improve as an investor and a trader, okay? Keep your ears and your eyes open and aware of everything. So what Stifel is saying is that despite impressive growth numbers projected in the next several years, Aurora's international medical use growth opportunities are limited outside of Canada and Germany. And then obviously right there, I can't agree with them. And if they're talking about direct penetration into the United States, Aurora is going to find a lot of roadblocks because marijuana is not yet legalized throughout the entire United States. So I find a little bit of this redundant, but let's read through it and take it in anyways. Keep in mind too, this is one of a very, very few hold ratings or bearish calls on ACB. So we are cautious on Aurora in the near term given the company's reliance on the capital markets to execute upon its near-term business plans, the lack of a definitive strategy for entering the US market, and we believe the slower development of the global medical opportunity will yield downside versus consensus estimates. They're saying for now, Aurora has an inevitable position at the number 2 Canadian cannabis producer behind top pick Canopy Growth, and he isn't convinced Aurora's management fully appreciates the level of investment that will be required to defend that position as the market grows. Now, as we all know, Aurora has not yet secured a partnership with a global consumer or pharmaceutical company, but I did make a video a couple of weeks ago talking about why ACB has chose to stay fully independent and why that actually might be more of a benefit in the long run, because I think sometimes when you do partner and you do grab one of the first things that comes your way, I think you might be putting a band-aid over some of the real problems a company has. So make sure you go back and watch that video if you have not seen it already. Then again, they did go on to mention that the addition of investor Nelson Peltz, strategic advisor, could help remedy the situation. I'm a big believer in Aurora's independent strategy. I think in the long term, it is actually going to benefit the management and shareholders far more. Aurora's valuation has upside only if it can maintain its Canadian market leadership position and its industry-leading margins over time. The company will also need to demonstrate that it can be profitable, which is the same exact thing that plagues pretty much all of these marijuana companies, guys. None of them are quite yet profitable, not even Canopy Growth. Because if we're gonna go there, we're gonna start talking about profitability. Let's go to Canopy Growth, Stifel's #1 MJ pick. They have a profit margin of negative 265%. While ACB comes in at a negative 125%. So if we're going to really pull that profit card, we're really going to criticize these MJ companies for not being profitable. Let's concentrate on their #1 pick, Canopy Growth, which is actually technically 2 times less profitable than Aurora Cannabis is. So, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. That's always kind of been my rule of thumb. And so 3 months ago, Aurora had 6 buy ratings, 1 overweight, and 3 holds. And then from a month ago to its current ratings, has only seen 1 buy rating fall off. And of course, guys, keep in mind, it's all about what you believe as an investor, right? As long as you feel as though Aurora is doing everything in their power, not only to satisfy customers and employees, but to appeal to investors, a lot of analysts are going to mark down these MJ stocks just based on fundamentals, right? We can't take ACB and compare it to Microsoft or Google or Facebook, okay? This is true startup investing, and the MJ market is still very, very new and is not quite widely accepted like a typical stock on the stock market just yet, okay? So what I really still want to focus on is those revenues, and ACB's revenue has went up over 1,000% in less than 2 years. And that's really, like I said, in these developmental stages, what I want to continue focusing on is their growth through earnings. So will I be selling ACB as a result of this semi-bearish? And let me reiterate that I believe this is semi-bearish. They're not giving ACB a sell rating. They're just ranking them as a hold. And no, I will not. I will not be selling ACB. As a matter of fact, I look to continue to add on any major weakness and any real opportunity I get to buy more, I plan to do so. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to the next quarter's earnings report, and we just got our round of earnings from the MJ companies. Aurora's really stands out from the crowd, and I think they will continue that trend again. Like I said, where Kronos Group and Tilray could be taken away as a little bit on the disappointing side, Aurora really cleaned up their net loss and had a huge boost in revenue numbers. While these companies are still unprofitable, we do have to take into account all these little improvements that they make over the course of time. So I remain very bullish on ACB. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for the video. Make sure to go down to the comment section and share with me any thoughts that you're currently having. We did see a run up today in Tilray stock and Cron. As a matter of fact, the entire MJ sector got a nice boost today. So make sure to share your thoughts on that. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.